Okay, so we've made it. The time has finally come to renovate former Britain's best lawn and restore it to its former glory. So let's show you how we're going to do it.
Throughout history, men have always been drawn to grass. Whether it be in the park, a sports ground, or simply in your own garden, there's just something about those quintessential British stripes that makes you want them for yourself. Not to mention getting one over on your neighbours. Follow Daniel on his lawn journeys in his step-by-step videos this year, whilst you create your own lawn journey, achieving that dream lawn you have always wanted with simple and easy to follow methods. The lawn you have always dreamed of is only a grass seed away. Now sit back and enjoy the video. Oh, and one more thing, if you want to subscribe, you know what to do.
So as you can see, that's from my thumbnail, but that's the depth we want to be taking the lawn back to, is at literally crown level. Never going to get it all off, but that's fine. And then what we'll do is we'll scarify it and get rid of all that thatch. So first job is I'm going to cut it with the rotary first, just to remove most of what I can and take more off with the suction that I create from the rotary. If I just go on with the cylinder, the box will fill before I get to the other end. So I'll take what I can off with the rotary and then on with the cylinder, which I've already got out because I've already done this. I tried it there, but I did it too close to the edge. It was kind of an afterthought, and then did that. Keith's not very happy, but it's going to all look like that in about an hour, so you won't even know that was done. So let's get on with it. Right, so what I did off camera was I just went left to right with the setting a bit lower just to take even more off. And it's amazing what you find once you've taken those off. There's all kinds of things. I did make a note of it before. Oh look, so you get all these things here, like twigs that are under there. So if we didn't do the shortcut, those would be left in. But now we're right down to the soil level, we can scarify those out. Loads of leaves still in there. So all that's going to come out, which is good. So that's why we do the shortcut, to get rid of all last year's growth, so that our roller, for one, is making contact with the soil surface going forward, because it's the mower height is governed by the roller, not by the blades. The blades are in a fixed position, and it's your roller that adjusts for the height. So if our roller is sitting on top of all that old growth, then we're going to sink, and our height of cut is going to be distorted by that sinkage. So if we can get back to firm soil, we know if we want to cut it an inch, we know it's going to be true to an inch because we've not got any sinkage. So time to scarify. Can't leave how much I've took off, but you know it has to be done and it'll come back. So that's, I filled a ton bag and a little bit of a bin bag. So we're good to go and scarify. Right, okay, so that's a double pass. You can see we've brought all those twigs up. It's I think it's going to rain, so it's a good job. So we need to get this up so it doesn't all get wet and dead heavy. But I want to show you down here, look. It's you can see how damp it is over there. That's because the sun's over there, the tree's in the way, but this bit here is in the sun all day, and that's why that dries out. He's kind of just come to me now, after 13 years of being here. it's just hit me as to why this dries out, because it's just in the sun all day, it never gets any shelter. Maybe first thing in the morning, but majority of it, it's up there and comes, so it's just always in the sun. Then you've got that as well, sucking the life out of it as well. If that was to fall over one day, I wouldn't mind at all. So what we're going to have to do is here, it's so dry, even though it has rained overnight, it's really dry and dusty. We'll get a wetting agent on here like we did last year, all over, but really concentrate on getting it in that area, and then we'll give it a water, and then we'll go on a seed, and then, like we said before, that acts like a glue for the seed to stick to, and it'll fall into these nice little channels. Now the dilemma I always have at this time is, what's the best way now to pick all this up without closing up the channels that we've created. So today I think I'm just going to rake it and see how we get on, see what's left, because I'm really pleased with the depth we've got, and the seed's just going to fall right in there and really get off to a good start. So we'll make a decision. Just got to go and out Keith now, so I'll be back shortly. Right, so forgive me, but what I decided to do was, just because of the impending weather that I think is coming in, I just decided to mow it, but we still left loads of little channels for the seed to fall into, which is my main concern. In some areas it's squashed it a little, like on these patches there, but what I'll do is I'll get that tool out with the pivotal scarifier with the Wolfgarten tool, and just rough some areas up where it's flattened it a bit. But other than that, that's good to go. What we're going to do here is, I've not touched this bit yet because I've got to dig that out, and what I also want to do is we're going to redo this little channel here, so you can see it's got, I mean, like, where has that wheatgrass come from? Look at that, it's so ugly. Annual meadow grass there. So we're going to dig a channel out, reseed that, but so I don't want to spread any of these seeds anywhere by scarifying it. So we'll keep that contained to there, dig that out, put it over there, and then crack on with this side. That should be this week, but it doesn't matter if not, because we've got that main bit over there to go at. But today what I want to show you is this bit from last week. I cut it with the rotary when I first got here, just because it needed it, but then I thought it's time for some feed really. So what I did was, I've just been over it with a cylinder. Now, the question I get asked a lot is, when's it time to go on with the cylinder? If this was a seed bed that I'd literally just seeded last month, there's no way I would be on that with a cylinder just yet. But because it's an existing lawn and the sub base is already held together with roots from last year, it's fine to go on with the cylinder here. As you can see, I've not done any damage at all. So what I'm going to do now is, while I'm here and we've got some rain due, I'm going to go on with some equilibrium to get that feed up and running in the system. Last week we put Grace, Steller and Sopro on, and that's really kicked on. We'll just have a look at what it looked like last week, and then come back to this week. You'll see a huge difference. Now's the time to be getting some granular fertiliser on. This lawn hasn't had any nitrogen since, God, October last year, so it's really in desperate need for some now. So we'll get that on, pander to its desires, and then I think in a week this lawn will be looking something like, and then the hard work starts with the regular cutting. So it's really consistent, really pleased with that. We have a look over on the top again, still pretty bare, but again, if we see it from last week in this position, you'll see that it really has come on leaps and bounds. So I'll show you how we do that, and I'll go and get my stuff and we'll do it. Right, so what I'm going to do is, yep, sorry. Right, so I've got my equilibrium in there. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go on at 29 on here. Just been playing with the rates a little bit, and 29 on here is a good way to go on. I'm pretty confident I can do it without messing up. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go into this corner and do a little bit, because I can't start in the hedge, so you have to do that first. And then just come here like that. Going like that. It's good. Doesn't matter if you get any of this on the paths, because there's no iron in it. so it won't stain or anything. But it's always good practice just to sweep it up anyway, which I will do, just in case. But there's definitely no iron in it, so you won't have any rust stains anywhere. So that's it. That's all you need to do. That's fed. So we'll see how that kicks in over the next week, and I think we'll be looking good. Alright, so we're looking good, ready for part 2, hopefully tomorrow, when we're going to be seeding and spreading the Jack's Magic, and then, well, before that we'll be putting a wetting agent on, seeding, then Jack's Magic, and then it will just be water and heat is all we need. And this, hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be looking something like the photos that we had last year, and here's one just to wet your whistle and to see what it will look like, hopefully. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't, because we've done everything we did last year and more. Spent a lot of time digging out weed grasses this year, even more so than last year. We've got a nice edge now down that side. We're not going to have the plants growing over, so it's not going to kill the lawn like it did last year. Here comes the rain, starting that process of wetting down there, which is what we want. So I hope you've enjoyed this one on a shortcut to a better lawn. Oh, you now know why I called it a shortcut to a better lawn. It's not so much a quicker way to a better lawn, it's just a shortcut in terms of getting that grass cut really short, so you can do a factory reset almost of your lawn. So until we meet again, take care.